combine music to recite Shabad.
वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा, वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह। इस बेड़े को पार लगावे। राम जपो जी ऐसे ऐसे, राम जपो जी ऐसे ऐसे। बरसात ऐसी बूंद समानी, चूक गई फिर आवन जानी। बरसात ऐसी बूंद समानी, चूक गई फिर आवन जानी। चूक गई फिर आवन जानी। चूक गई फिर आवन जानी। राम जपो जी ऐसे ऐसे, राम जपो जी ऐसे ऐसे। कबीर पद सारंग पानी, उर्वार पार सब एको दानी। कबीर पद सारंग पानी, उर्वार पार सब एको दानी। उर्वार पार सब एको दानी। उर्वार पार सब एको दानी। राम जपो जी ऐसे ऐसे, राम जपो जी ऐसे ऐसे। तू प्रहलाद जपियो हर जैसे, तू प्रहलाद जपियो हर जैसे। राम जपो जी ऐसे ऐसे, राम जपो जी ऐसे ऐसे। राम जपो जी, राम जपो जी, राम जपो जी ऐसे ऐसे। वाहिगुरू जी का खालसा, वाहिगुरू जी की फतेह।
Thank you so much, dear students, for the blessed prayer. Thank you for using your remarkable talent and skill to fuel our mutual efforts. Thank you.
Now moving on to next, we will have our traditional auspicious lamp lighting ceremony as a tribute to Mother Saraswati, the goddess of knowledge. Mother, we pray for your blessings with all humanity. Give us wisdom to make this world a better place. May all human beings live in harmony with nature and other forms of life. May the darkness of ignorance be swept away by the dawn of self-realization. I consider it a great honor to welcome our honorable chief guests, eminent dignitaries, Dr. Baba Devinder Singh ji, Dr. Neelam Kaur ji, Dr. Jill, Drexel University, our chief guest, Dr. Chauhan, registrar, to please come forward for the lamp lighting ceremony. I would also request the other dignitaries, our speakers, our chief guests, special guests to please come forward for the lamp lighting. I would request all the principals as well. Thank you so much, all the special guests and our dignitaries for showing your presence and inaugurating this 10th conference.
Forensic nursing is the application of nursing process to public or legal proceedings and the application of forensic healthcare in scientific investigation of trauma or death-related abuse, violence, criminal activities, liabilities, and accidents. This conference will highlight numerous sessions on historical overview of evolution of forensic nursing, role of journalist forensic and advanced forensic nurse, gender-based violence, sexual assault assessment, trauma-informed care, sharp and blunt injury, wound identification and evidence collection, advanced forensic nursing in India and in globe, panel discussion on forensic nursing examination, including photo documentation, paper and poster presentation by experts from everywhere throughout the globe who will be sharing the knowledge and establish collaboration with international clients. This conference will give a great discussion to you to interrogate the insight base and investigate the advancement in forensic nursing. We anticipate welcome to you to this energizing conference and meeting everyone face to face. We hope that you all will gain immense knowledge in what guaranteed to be a productive conference.
Now next, the longer we wait, when we get it, because anything worth having is always worth waiting. Now, Dr. Anupama ma'am, Principal of Akal College of Nursing, to accord a genuine welcome for our gathering. So I request Dr. Anupama ma'am to please come on the stage and please welcome our chief guests, our dignitaries and our delegates.
God's love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It does not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. Keeps no record of wrongs. Good morning. With the blessings of Almighty God and Honorable Saints, Baba Iqbal Singh Ji and Baba Devinder Singh Ji, distinguished guests from international and national forum, respected resource persons, chairpersons, principals, delegates, and dear students. This is the day the Lord has made, and we will rejoice and be glad in it. Today, I, Dr. Anupama, Principal, Akal College of Nursing, takes this opportunity to welcome you all and extend a further word of welcome to everyone to join on this International Nursing Conference. First and foremost, I would like to thank God who gave us life, has removed all the darkness, fears, doubts, and helps us to find beautiful career in this big world. I am delighted to see you all here to participate and share on this 10th International Conference themed as Advanced Practices in Forensic Nursing. Everyone must submit himself to the governing authorities, for there is no authority except which God has established. The authorities that exist have been established by God. First and foremost, I would like to extend my warm welcome to today's chief guest, Dr. Jill Rustin, Associate Clinical Professor, Advanced Role Medical Surgical Nursing, Department, College and Health and Professional. We are honored to have you, ma'am. Next, thanks to Honorable Saint Baba Devinder Singh Ji, Chancellor, Eternal University, President, the Kalgidhar Trust, we are greatly encouraged by his gracious presence and immensely benefited by his inspiring address all the time. Sir, we are welcome you, sir. I also would like to welcome Honorable Dr. Aluwalia Ji, Pro Vice Chancellor, Eternal University in absentia. Next, the qualities of godly woman are the same: kind, compassionate, faithful, generous, loving, gracious, merciful, patient. I also take this opportunity to welcome our beloved and Honorable Dr. Neelam Kaur, Advisor, Health and Education, the Galgidhar Trust member, governing body, Akal University and Eternal University, for our everlasting support and encouragement. Ma'am, we are welcome you, ma'am. I also take this opportunity to welcome our most respected, lovely Dr. Harpreet Kaur Ji, Administrator, Akal College of Nursing, Eternal University. Ma'am, I welcome you, ma'am. Also, I would like to extend my warmest welcomes to special guest today, Dr. Chauhan Ji, Registrar, Eternal University, Badsaye. Sir, I welcome you. And also, I want to welcome Dr. B.S. Sohal, Controller of Examination, Dean, cum PG Studies, in his absentia. Then Miss Premalata Negi, Nursing Superintendent, IGMC Shimla. Dr. Kamala Tanwar, Principal, IGMC Shimla. Dr. Suman Bodh, Principal, Institute. Dr. Rajendra Prasad, Medical College and Hospital, Tanda. Dr. G.S. Ghosh, Italan University, Badusaheb. Dr. Balraji, Admission and Placement Cell. Sir, I welcome you all. Also, I would like to acknowledge our members from Drexel University, USA. Today, we are honored to have Dr. Jill Drestin and Sandra F. Redman. I welcome you, ma'am, both of you. I also would like to acknowledge remaining members of the Drexel University in their absentia. Cheryl Portwood, Susan Blichar, Dr. Jane Donware, Dr. Gloria Donali, Dr. Leland Rockstra, Dr. Brain Fozalka, Mary McHugh, then Carol Okapniak, Dr. Jane Green Ryan. So they have worked for many years with the educational authorities to establish programs that put in for nursing in all over the world. In their absentia, I welcome everyone. Next, I would like to take this opportunity to express my happiness to the organizers who have been working with us since the beginning of the planning stage, and they are here today for all of us. Really, we truly appreciate your dedication. On this occasion, I also extend a warm welcome to all the educational department deans, principals, professors, associate professors, students, technical department personnel, non-teaching, media coverage, and others of the Eternal University, Badusaheb. I welcome everyone. I once again welcome and thank you all for your encouragement, guidance, and providing a stimulating environment for the conference. I hope you enjoy the rest of the program and share this special event with us. I think after this conference, every one of us can feel challenged, excited, and inspired. God's love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. Once again, Asian family warmly welcomes you all. Thank you all. Now I would like to welcome and introduce the Asian family members. I mean to say Asian faculty members. I call upon the stage members of the faculty members, Dr. Anupama, myself, Dr. Mrs. Usha, Vice Principal, Dr. Priyanka Chaudhary, Associate Professor, Dr. Jaswinder, Associate Professor, Mr. Muthukumaran, Assistant Professor, Mrs. Babita Kumari, Assistant Professor, Manjinder Kaur, Assistant Professor, Miss Komal Rana, Nursing Tutor, Miss Samiksha, Nursing Tutor, Suman Kumari, Assistant Professor, Manisha Sehgal, Assistant Professor, Chanchal Lata, Assistant Professor, Agnes Newton, Nursing Tutor, Lovepreet, Nursing Tutor, Miss Beyond, Nursing Tutor, Miss Isha, Nursing Tutor, Diksha Chaudhary, Nursing Tutor, Miss Neelam Sharma, Nursing Tutor, Miss Arpreet Kaur, Nursing Tutor, Miss Jyoti Thakur, Nursing Tutor, Miss Raki Sharma, Nursing Tutor, Miss Poonam, Nursing Tutor, Miss Anjali, Nursing Tutor, Miss Nikita, Nursing Tutor. Now I would like to request Dr. Dean ma'am, Dr. Harpreet Kaur ji, and Dr. VC sir, and special guest, all the resource persons from the nursing department, please come on the stage. Now I would like to call upon Dr. Sir and Dr. Goria Sir on stage, please.
Thank you, ma'am, for the guidance, inspiration, encouragement for being there always as pillars, and most importantly, for being a mentor for us.
When you have a dream, you have got to grab it and never let go. Yes, we have a great personality with us today on this auspicious event, Dr. Baba Devinder Singh Ji, President of the Kalgidhar Trust and Chancellor of Eternal University, who is a true inspiration for all of us. I am honored to invite Dr. Baba Devinder Singh Ji, Chancellor Eternal University and President of the Kalgidhar Trust, to kindly come up on the stage and throw a light on the journey of successful years of Eternal University from its foundation stone. We are highly honored to have you, sir, and welcome you with our folded hands for our 10th International Nursing Conference.
His Holiness, Honorable Babaji, whose divine presence we always have with us. Professor Jill Distrain, Professor Friedman, Professor Dr. Goria, galaxy of nursing professionals from all over the country, faculty members of the Akal College of Nursing, faculty members of the Eternal University, and above all, our hopes of future, our hopes of humanity, my dear young children. I'm delighted to welcome you all to this valley of divine peace. I have been assigned the task of apprising you of the journey of the Kalgidhar Trust. Our tryst with education, this glorious journey, dates back to 62 years ago. That is in 1906, when our founding father, Sant Atar Singh Ji, the first picture here, he had envisioned that the greatest threat to humanity would come from man himself. And that too from a man who is imbued solely with the modern education. The reason being that modern education inflates one's ego, especially the ones who are dealing with sciences. Although he had never been to a formal school himself, but his understanding of human nature by his divine bhakti that he had done, he was clear that in the days to come, man would develop such lethal weapons which could destroy the world many times over. So he proposed this unique model of education, where the foundation of education is based on spiritual training. The concept of spirituality as enunciated by our large number of scriptures, by saints, sages, that is, in one word, in one sentence, if we have to fathom what spirituality is, it just means taming one's ego. As our ego goes berserk, it engages in destruction of the world at the cost of making oneself more powerful, more important in his own eyes. An egoist man would go to any extent to satisfy his ego, which never does get satisfied. He yearns for more and more, and thus results misery and trauma upon millions of this world. We see what is happening today in Ukraine. Ego of a handful of people who wish to grab more and more land, more and more power, and that is what it results to. If conventional education alone could give peace, then USA with more than 4,500 universities would be a very peaceful place. Alas, it is greatly engaged in harboring, in promoting violence all over the world. His disciple, Sant Teja Singh Ji, who had done his master's from Harvard University in 1912, got his disciple, Sant Baba Iqbal Singh Ji, to discover this valley of divine peace in 1956. Our educational journey began in 1986 with 6 students who had joined the Akal Academy Badu Sahib and started learning the spiritual realm along with conventional education. Today, there's that young seed that was sown in 1956 has blossomed into a full-blown 10 plus 2 CBSE school, residential school, a CBSE day school, a school with IB curriculum, and a school with Cambridge curriculum. 4 schools are there in this campus, along with this eternal university, which has 7 faculties offering large number of courses. In addition to this, we have 129 other schools and another university in Bathinda, Talwandi, Sabo. In all these institutions, 70,000 students are getting this unique form of education, where the foundation is spiritual education, and on top of that, we provide best possible conventional education. Wherever our schools are situated, invariably, the CBSE district topper is an Akal scholar. That is the kind of education which is being provided. And we are able to achieve this unique success because our children are taught the techniques of meditation. They learn how to concentrate. They learn how to not get distracted. And that is why they excel in these university exams. Ladies and gentlemen, I am proud to inform you all that our association with Drexel University, USA has now come of age. And the founding member of this relationship is here with us, Professor Jill Distrain. Each year I see her, I marvel at her capacity to travel across numerous time zones, across numerous continents, to be here with us every year. It does not seem that she is such a senior person, but a young girl who hops into a plane and reaches here. Thank you very much, ma'am, for this love and belonging that you have for this unique college. Dear children, those who have joined the Akal College of Nursing, this is a unique institution where the most essential quality of a nurse, that is compassion, that is ingrained in you. The love for human beings, the sense of service. Any nursing college will teach you the tenets of basic nursing. But Akal College of Nursing is different, and you are blessed to have come here. In the recent floods that happened here, it was so gratifying to see you all participate in the restoration work. From day one, the time when floods happened, as the floods were there, our girls, they moved out of their hostels, secure surroundings of the hostel, and went to the ones which were inundated by the flood waters, cleaned up their rooms, brought those people to safety, my head bows in front of this such remarkable work that you did. It is a reflection of the spiritual training that has been provided to you. Not only this instance, but 2 years ago when we had that devastation by the COVID pandemic, our hospital here became the dedicated COVID center. And in this area, in this region, this was the only center for miles and miles together which could provide oxygen facility to the patients. The way our nursing students, our nursing staff stood up to that challenge and provided the kind of service that was required. Everyone who came here had tears in their eyes that these young girls, the kind of love and compassion they had, it was very moving for all of us. That was a second instance where this special quality of love and compassion for the patients you exhibited so tremendously. Thank you very much, please. Ladies and gentlemen, the Sikh way of life is the one that is being practiced in this institution. For ones who are not acquainted with the Sikh philosophy, I'll just briefly apprise you that our holy scriptures, the Guru Granth Sahib Ji, it has Gurbani teachings of only 6 of the 10 Sikh Gurus that were there. There were 10 Gurus from Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj to Guru Gobind Singh Ji. Our holy scriptures, Guru Granth Sahib, contains Gurbani of only 6 of those Gurus. In addition, it has Gurbani of 31 Hindu saints of all sects, of all castes. We have Gurbani of Bhagat Ravidas, who was a cobbler, and we have Gurbani of Gaur Brahmins. And we also amazingly have Gurbani of 5 Muslim saints, Bhagat Kabir, Bhagat Farid, Bhagat San, and Bhagat Pikham. So this is an epitome of interfaith. Whenever a Sikh bows in front of Guru Granth Sahib, he not only bows to the sacred hymns of the Sikh Gurus, but also to this unique Gurbani of all saints of all faiths. So this is what is the kind of teaching that is being imparted to our children, to respect all faiths, all religions, because these religions may be different paths, but our eventual journey to the Almighty is one. The destination is one. So in today's strife-torn world, where we are fighting each other, it is all the more relevant to provide such spiritual teaching to our children so that they can engage themselves in providing peace and solace to this strife-torn world. This was the basic philosophy on which this institution has been based. Coming to the conference today, I was just informed by Professor Rakesh Goria, who I am proud to say is called as the father of forensic nursing in India. He tells me that the concept of forensic nursing came up in USA in the early 70s, but it was slow to spread to the rest of the parts of the world. In India, he took up this challenge in 2002, and very proudly he says that India is the first country in which the curriculum of forensic nursing has been introduced at the undergraduate level. It's indeed a very proud moment for all of us. It is extremely important for the young girls sitting here to realize that you are a very competent professional on your own. Please work hard to become true professionals so that you can keep your head held high and not be subservient to the medical doctors. Till now, historically, nurses in India have been on the background, and the main treatment is being provided by the physicians. Time has come where we have to shed this, this tendency to latch on to the doctor, to be standing independently as a true professional and impart your wisdom. I'm reminded of an instance when our nursing students of third year, they had gone to the Indira Gandhi Medical College at Shimla. And there, while they were dispensing medicine, one of the girls noticed that the dose of digoxin the doctor had mentioned as 2.5 milligrams instead of 0.25 milligrams. She immediately pointed it out to the nurse in charge, and then the doctor was summoned, and he greatly appreciated the wisdom and the knowledge of the young girls of this college. It makes us so proud. Your role as forensic nurses is extremely important because you are the first ones to receive the patient in the casualty. Large number of problems, large number of violent happenings happen with women, be it domestic violence or violence in the street or assaults. As a nurse, if you are acquainted with the forensic aspect of nursing, you will go a long way in providing justice to those women who are victims of such violence. So with these few words, I once again welcome you all to this Valley of Divine Peace. I apologize for the inconvenience that was caused to our visitors, for as per the divine order, we had floods here, the roads got damaged, this bridge close by got damaged, and you have to travel a long distance to reach us. Especially my apologies to Professor Goria, who came all the way from Chandigarh and then had to be rerouted to reach us at 1 a.m. at night. Thank you very much, Bees, for being with us here. And I hope your stay here is a pleasant one and you enjoy this conference, this wonderful concept of forensic nursing, which is still in its infancy in the country, and we all leave this two-day conference much enriched and wiser. Thank you very much, please.
Thank you so much, sir, for appreciating and encouraging our students. This is what is called spiritual nursing. I just hope, sir, cleared all your doubts on spiritual nursing. Sometimes we are unable to clear our students' thoughts on spiritual nursing, but sir said it all. Thank you so much, sir. Education at Eternal University is not only to provide the knowledge and skills which are essential to strive, but the vision is to provide value-based education and scientific skills for achieving the highest level of professional competency. The discipline, honesty, integrity, and dedication, and the most important aspect of our university, the value-based education, it was not possible to achieve the level of excellence without her support. And yes, you're right, she is not bound to the boundaries of any kind of introduction. She has been serving since uncountable number of years in many roles. She is none other than Dr. Neelam Kaurji, Advisor Health and Education, the Kalgidhar Trust governing body of Akal University and Eternal University, Dean of Health and Allied Sciences. So I request Dr. Neelam Kaurji, ma'am, to please come on the stage.
Thank you so much, Manisha. Just to introduce, give you a brief introduction about Manisha. Manisha entered this complex almost like 25 years from now when she got admitted in Akal Academy, Barusab, in grade nursery. So she completed her education 14 years and then she did her bachelor's in nursing, master's in nursing, and now she is working as a faculty in College of Nursing. So that's what all, and that's what is the belief of our founding saints, the empowerment starting right from the almost when she was 3 and her 2 more siblings. So many such students, they have made up this institution today. What we stand here, what we show, what we exhibit, these are our pillars. And thank you so much for the words of wisdom and guidance by Dr. Devinder Singh Ji, Revered the Chancellor and the President. And I would be saying the same for very, very dear the mentor we have, Professor Jill. Like it's another news which to share with the audience. Well, she was to retire from the Drexel University. So the Drexel University extended her stay with Drexel as naming her collaboration of Drexel with ACN Eternal University and calling that initiative as Jill Driston India Initiative. So that's the commitment this young women of 85 years bring it to us. So if you see her name as one of the founding members when we started our college, her name appears to be consistent in the last 12 years. Many faculties have come and left, but her name, along with Harpreet and of course me by default, so her name has stood at that role of honor. So we were not able to change her name, and that's why we call her the pillar of ACN. And this occasion is a special occasion for us to acknowledge each one of you. You have been very kind and generous from day one when we didn't know a thing about College of Nursing, how to establish that, how to run it. But I think in this journey, each one, whether it is Sunita ji from HBRC and the other people I see, like as far as from Srinagar, Baramulla, so the deans and the faculty, they have been so kind to always come and hold our hands. So thank you, each one of you, and we really, really salute this nursing fraternity, and we salute these soldiers in white. They have always stood to the tall order. So thank you very much, and let's hope we learn from your experience. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your words on spiritual nursing and what actually it means in real terms.
Now, it's the time to give the token of love to our special dignitaries, chief guest, and resource person. So, I would like to, first of all, I would like to call Dr. Jill P. Dresteen as a chief guest.
I request Dr. Sir to please come and honor her. Dr. Sir. I request Dr. Baba Devinder Singh Ji to please come and honor her. Dr. Ma'am to please also join. Next, I would request Sandra Friedman to please come. Now I request next resource person, Dr. Rakesh Kumar Goria, to please come, sir. Now next I request Professor Mahmooda Regu, resource person, to please come on the stage. Next I request Dr. Jaideepa to please come on the stage. Now next I request Professor Principal Samriti Arora ma'am to please come on the stage. Next I request Sunita Verma ma'am to please come. Now next I request Deepthi ma'am to please come. Next I would request Rafika Bashir ma'am to please come. Next, I request Dr. Jaswinder ma'am to please come, principal. Now I request ma'am and sir to please stay back. I would also request Dr. Chauhan sir to please come on the stage for the release of souvenir. I would also request Dr. Ghosh sir to please come on the stage for the release of souvenir. I would also request Dr. Jill ma'am to please come on the stage for the release of souvenir. Next, I would also request Dr. Samriti Arora ma'am to please come and join for the release of souvenir. Thank you, sir. Thank you all. Now I request our special guest, Dr. Suman Bodh, to please come and collect her love of token. Principal Nursing Institute, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, Tanda Medical College. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
We have a special guest who has traveled long way from USA to be at our conference. I feel honored that I was given this opportunity to speak about you, ma'am. On the behalf of everyone, we feel lucky to have you with us today. It's a great pleasure to welcome such a noble personality as our chief guest today. We welcome you, Dr. Jill B. Dresden, former Associate Clinical Professor, Graduate Nursing, Advanced Role MSN Department, College of Nursing and Health Professionals, Drexel University, USA. We would request you to come on the stage for keynote address. Ma'am has pursued Bachelor of Nursing in Science. Madam has been listed as noteworthy nursing educator by Mucus Who's Who. Ma'am has membership of prestigious organization. Some of them are American Nurses Association, Association Rehabilitation Nurses, National League Nurses, Congress Rehabilitation Medicine, Sigma Theta Tau. Welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you very much. All I can say for a first thing is they will not let me retire. I retired from Drexel, and now they gave me the position of keeping on the collaboration with the university here, which makes me so happy because this was one of my passions in life. I want to offer my greetings to Baba Dr. Devinder Singh, and Dr. Neelam, Dr. Harpreet, and all of the other honored guests. Many of you I do not know. I do not know the faculty anymore because we've been gone for 3 years due to COVID. But I am so happy to be here and I feel like I know you. When I look at you, I think, oh, I know her, but I have to think, no, I don't. Because it's a whole new group, but the same warm, loving group that I always find when I come here. I am so happy to be back, and yes, it was a long journey, Sandy Freeman and I couldn't believe how long it was. We forgot. You forget those kinds of things. But it was not a bad journey, and we were warmly welcomed in Delhi. And we had a very, very nice night there and a very nice ride up here yesterday for 9 hours. But we are here, and we're happy to be here. We've had this relationship for how long, Dr. Devinder? 13 years? 13 years. Seems like yesterday, doesn't it? When I came alone, I was trying to tell Sandy that I came here the first time alone. I met Dr. Atwal, and I met many of the others, and I was asked if I wanted to have something to do here. Would I do something to help them? We didn't know what it was going to be. But when I spent some time here, I knew that I could help by having a relationship or a collaboration with Drexel University, where I had started to work after I retired from Temple. The dean there was very, very happy to have an international collaboration with Akal School of Nursing. It was very small then. I don't know what's wrong with this, but I guess it's okay. It was very small then, and not the group of people that I see here. We were with the first class in the BSM curriculum. And my first visit to do anything was with Dr. Mary Lou, who is here in spirit with us. Dr. Mary Lou is home, and I know she will be back. I have promised her that we will come back together at least one more time so that we can work with the undergraduates and teach them about critical thinking, which was our very favorite topic and happened to be the students' favorite topic because they saw it in a different light after we came. When COVID hit, it was a real shock to all of us, not only with the disease, but with the relationship we had with people far away, such as you. And we didn't know if we'd ever come back here. We just didn't know. However, due to one of our other dear faculty members, Dr. Jane, we were able to arrange the online Zoom meetings where Drexel gave lectures many Mondays and Friday mornings. Started out on Monday, and I think it ended up on Friday mornings. 7 o'clock in the morning for us, 6:30 in the evening for you. But these were successful. Our graduate students did it. They lectured to you on a variety of subjects, and our faculty, our esteemed faculty, were so happy to be able to do this. And I believe this was a unique experience. I don't think many schools did this kind of thing. Not that I have known. I do know that Dr. Jane and another faculty member presented this topic about these online lectures at a Sigma Theta Tau meeting, so others know. collaboration, just do that, and that's what I'm doing. And that was Kim, a woman we call Kim, to do that. So we're very, very happy, and she does send her greetings to all of you. All of the other faculty that came, many of them are not with Drexel anymore. Dr. Rocky has been here, and I know many of you remember him, and I've talked with him. He would love to come back, and he will. I'm going to bring Dr. Rocky back. He is at University of Nevada now, but he wants to come back, and I know you'll take him back. And I know you want to have another sim lab because he is the master of all sim labs, and he runs the simulation lab. It's very, very important at the University of Nevada at Las Vegas, which is a whole country away from Drexel. But we still talk, we're still on email together, and he has his heart here. Doctor,
You please change the mic. Pick up the other mic.
what? Okay. Nothing changes. And this happens with us too. Dr. Bryan was here. He's one of our other faculty members that, I know Dr. Neelam's not here, that he wanted to come back this time, but unfortunately, none of us know much about forensic nursing, so we couldn't come back and teach because we thought, we have to learn about it ourselves. So that's the story, and I know that Drexel will continue becoming. I'm hoping myself I keep coming as long as I can get on that airplane and spend the hours on the bus and train and so forth to get here. And we will keep this collaboration going. And these conferences are wonderful. You are doing such a wonderful service to the nurses here, the students, and the other schools in the area. With that, I'm going to say welcome to all. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy I was able to bring Jamie Freeman, who is going to talk about sexual assault, and I'm really looking forward to hearing the rest of the conference and learning about forensic nursing and what you are doing here in India, because I will take it back to our forensic people in the United States. Thank you very much. Okay?
Hello. So this is the time to move to our scientific sessions now. We'll start with the session first, and alternating to this session in our next auditorium, scientific paper presentation is going to be held at the same time in the University auditorium. All the delegates participating in the same are requested to kindly move to the venue. Reception committee kindly accompany the delegates to the University auditorium. Now, without wasting your time, let's start with the scientific session, session 1, forensic nursing, an overview and evolution. So I would like to call our speaker for the session, Dr. Rakesh Kumar Goria. Sir is working as professor and head of forensic medicine, Gyan Sagar Medical College, Punjab. Sir has also worked as professor at JGT University, Rajasthan, and formerly faculty member at Forensic Medicine Department, College of Medicine, Saudi Arabia. Sir has also served as former principal and professor at NC Medical College, Panipat. Sir has excellent teaching experience of more than 35 years. Sir has BSc, MD and Diploma of National Board. Was a faculty member of Forensic and Legal Medicine of Royal College of Physicians, London. Sir has more than 5 national and
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Balsa. Okay. First of all, I will like to pay my gratitude to the Almighty and to the management of the Eternal University, especially Baba, Dr. Devinder Singh Ji, Dr. Neelam Kaur, and Principal Ma'am, and Dr. Priyanka, who has been instrumental in bringing me here. So my thanks to all of them that today I am in front of you. Can I see the laptop here? Yeah, please. Today I am going to share with you what is the passion of my heart and what was my social responsibility to do something for my country, to do something for the community, which has given me so much that but I never asked from God, even those things have been with me by the grace of the Lord. And I am going to share with you the journey of the 20 years, what has been done for forensic nursing in India, what the people have been doing about it, and a little bit of what happened in the world and how it started. So, today, as we are starting, so first of all, it is my duty to tell you about what is the forensic nursing science, what gradually during these 2 days you will be listening so much about forensic nursing science. I think you have a fair idea of what the forensic nursing science is in world and in India. And then we will discuss that how it developed in the world, how it developed in India, and if someone of you wish to go to some of other country and wish to develop forensic nursing science there, how you can do that? It is not that what you listen here, and if you have to apply it to some other country, this is not, you can't do, you will be able to do that after you listen this. And there is a journey, there are roadblocks, there are pitfalls, and how we can avoid that in this journey of nursing science to become successful in the world. Forensic nursing science, it is the marriage between different sciences. Marriage of nursing science with law, marriage of nursing science with forensic sciences, and especially the forensic medicine. This combination of the knowledge which you will get by the study of your nursing science, forensic medicine a little bit, and that will be the forensic nursing science when you apply all this knowledge for solving the various problems faced by the investigating officers. How you can increase the successful prosecution rate, because prosecution rate in India is not that much good as we should have it. So by the end of this, you will know much about it. So if we go for the history, so nursing started, who is this lady? Yes. So she was the lady who went to the battlefields. She's the lady who cared for the victims of violence. I think the nursing profession started first as forensic nursing, and then it went to the other fields because she was caring for the victims of violence. So that is forensic nursing. That's a part of forensic nursing. And in the modern days, It's Virginia Lynch. She's the mother of forensic nursing science in the whole of the world. She gets an idea that successful prosecution is very less in the US, then how it should be increased. So with this idea, at the age of 45 years, so she started and she made it happen in so many countries in addition to her own country, that is the USA. So she's known as the mother of the forensic nursing science, Virginia Lynch, and she's my mentor too. Because I never had heard about forensic nursing science before I met her. So in the USA, in 1986, forensic curriculum of forensic nursing science at Arlington University of Texas by Lynch, and forensic nursing model was developed by Lynch. And in 1989, a separate discipline of forensic nursing science was introduced by Virginia Lynch. And in 1991, International Association of Forensic Nursing formed and American Association of Forensic Science recognized it. So that was the basic step when it got what it was due in 1991. In 1995, American Nursing Association Congress grants specialty status to the forensic nursing. In 1997, scope and standards of forensic nursing science was published by Indian International Association of Forensic Nursing and American Nursing Association. And in 2000, Indian International Association of Forensic Nursing celebrates the 10th anniversary with membership of more than 2,000. And 2010, American Forensic Nursing celebrates its 18th anniversary with over 3,000 members from more than 50 countries. So you see how it started just with an idea that this should happen, and this spread to so many different parts of the world. And during my visit there in US, I got the medical examiner there and just got an idea that if we want to do it for our country, how we can do it. So another person was my PG student, and see the standard of the mortuary there in the US. And this was the dead body which the forensic nurses were involved in the postmortem exam.
All the facilities, which has all the facilities, even if it is a child or it is an adult. So everything can be done there in this place. So there are the sexual assault examination kits. So each country has developed its own kit, and this is one of the South African kit which has been developed there. So you see, this is what I came across during my interaction with the forensic nurses. In addition to this, there will be so many other places which I have not visited, but the things are going on there also. So these were the three forensic nurses which were examining a case there, and I happened to be there, and I saw this process, and with the help of the colposcope, how they can even look for the minor injuries which are present. So now we will talk about, so this was something around the world. This is in the US, but the things are happening in the other countries too, like South Africa, UK, Canada, South Africa, and there are so many other countries which have been gradually involved in. So pioneers in India, who is this man? Yes, please. Yes, very rightly you recognize Pai Kanhaiya Das. So what he was doing? he was giving water to the victims of war, giving water to the victims of violence, caring for the victims of violence. And that is what is forensic nursing is. So I think in India, probably forensic nursing is not new. It is in our history, it is in our blood, and we like to take the things, progress from what we have already in our history. So I will like to share my experiences, how we started and how the things happened. So this is the Government Medical College Patiala, where this thing started, first time in India. It was introduced at, and Virginia Lynch, when she visited India at our request, so she gave the idea of the nursing science. It was in 2000, and at that time, we involved all the stakeholders, the police officials, advocates, judges, nurses, doctors. So probably we invited all those who could possibly be the stakeholders, and at that time she introduced it, and that was the first time I knew about forensic nursing science. And her lecture kindled a desire in me, she kindled a flame that this thing should come to India, what is present in the whole of the world. So then we started researching, and the research papers were published in 2002 and 2003 in these journals, Journal of Punjab Academy of Forensic Medicine and Toxicology, but because it was introduced at that time in Punjab, so in the Punjab Journal, it came. So then so what we had done, I wanted to go further, and I talked to the nursing college principal, and I invited their students that they should come and see what we are doing and how they can be involved. So we showed them first the postmortem examination. You see in the India mortuaries, probably the conditions is not that good, but you will be seeing that the students are keeping the handkerchief in front of their mouth, because at that time the masks were not that common in India, so it became popular just with the corona. So we were showing them the postmortem examination and the intricacies of the postmortem examination. And that was showing them how the stiffening is occurring in the dead body after death, and showing that how you can see this and what inferences you can draw from this. So I would like to say at this moment that forensic nursing, what is in the other parts of the world, I did not want to find blindly. I wanted to develop that it can be useful to India, it can be useful to the Indian society. So accordingly, we proceeded, and it was not only then we spread to the country, and we started talking at the All India Institute of Medical Sciences, New Delhi, so which is the biggest institute in our country. So I wanted that if it happened there, other colleges will follow that college, because that is the biggest in India. And then we went to the Bihar and another parts of the country. We started traveling and talking about it, so that the people and other stakeholders become aware about it. So that these efforts were appreciated by the Indian Academy of Forensic Medicine at that time in 2003, that forensic nursing work is being done and being introduced in India. So this was again, it was again learning to the Colorado University. So I had been there as a coordinator of the forensic nursing course in the university in the USA at Colorado Springs University. So we visited there and frequently talked to the students who were there along with Virginia Lynch. So that is their postgraduate students that they were there at that time in that university of the forensic nurses. And that is finally, that was what the university finally bestowed this for the work being done there in the US. And then all this progress was published in the International Association of Forensic Nurses newsletter on the H. So all this, what was happening in India, along with Virginia Lynch, one police officer, and one forensic scientist, we were working on it. So that was published. And what we were doing in India, bringing hope to India, so that was published in that newsletter at that time. So we did not stop there, so we wanted to go ahead, and in 2005, so I invited my state authorities, police authorities, and everyone that we should go for this. I talked to my principal, my director, so through them, whom the things could have moved further. So they promised at that time, yes, the things will move further at that time. And at the same conference, Virginia Lynch was speaking about forensic nursing science. And so you can see the audience. So in this, the police officials are there, the judges are there. So you see on the left side, at the back, all the police officials are sitting, and on the right side, all the nursing students are there, and on the front, the doctors and advocates and the judges, they were there. So this was a big conference in which 500 people participated. And talking about forensic nursing at that conference, and our director, Dr. Devinder Kaur, who was the director of the whole of the Punjab of Medical Education and Research, she promised that we will go ahead with this curriculum and we will help to go ahead. Sorry. So then, sexual assault nurse examiners are very common in the USA at that time, and they were doing, so the biggest shot there, so we called them, and we had the workshop on the rape victim examination in our college. So Virginia Lynch, and I am forgetting the name, probably she's maybe you are identifying on the right side. She had done at that time about say 5,500 cases. She told me that she has already done so many cases of the rape victim examination at that time. And so again, so this is, we did not stop doing after one thing. Every year, 2006, again we invited different police officials, different persons. So the chief of the police in Punjab, they were invited so that they come to know about so how they can be useful to them. And so again, this was after the workshop, to the participants, we gave this certificate of this workshop. And then we had the crime scene investigation workshop for the nurses as well as for the police officials. So these were the police officials. We wanted to tell them that how the forensic nurses can be useful. So these were the male police officials who had joined for this workshop, and they were being told about this forensic nursing science. So they were also being taught about the bite marks, what was the value of the bite marks at that time. The value of the bite marks is gradually decreasing nowadays. And so this was, again, the certificate which we issued to all the participants. And then I went to the South Africa and Nelson Mandela Medical College. So this was a conference at different place in 2006. And we talked about the forensic nursing in India at that time. And this is the Nelson Mandela Medical College. The professor had Dr. Steve Naidu there. So he asked that if you have come, you should introduce the forensic nursing in South Africa too. to our region. And so that is their faculty, and we were talking to their students about forensic nursing science, the nursing students as well as the medical students at that time, that how this forensic nursing science that can benefit the society. So this was the rape crisis center there. So where in a same place, a victim of rape is taken there, and the police comes there, the body comes there, and she has not to say it again, and she has not to repeat the story again and again, because it is very traumatic for the victims to talk again and again about the same thing. So in India, this thing is happening. First, she is telling to her relatives, then she is taken to the police station, she talks there, then she is taken to the, whenever she talks to different police officials at different levels, then to the doctors, then to the nurses, and she goes on talking and talking till the case is in the court. And really, it is very traumatizing for the patient. And in this rape crisis center, probably everybody would come there, and she has just to narrate her story once, that's all. So then our university, Baba University of Health Sciences, which is there, the vice chancellor of that university, along with Virginia Lynch, we try to make awareness, asking where the nursing professional for all the nursing colleges affiliated with this university, about 50 or 60 or something like in that range. So they joined this discussion, and they are made aware about this. And so this was again in 2006, and that is the certificate issued by the university. It means the university recognized that there is a need for this thing. That is why the university organized, and it happened that this was the first conference of the University of Health Sciences which was organized. But the court decision came that if the female police officials can be involved in the investigation of the rape victims, that will be good. So the training which we had given to the male officials, so probably that utility became less. So we organized another workshop for the female police officers, so that they become aware about this. And so these are the police officials who had taken the training at that time, and they were made aware. So we were doing all this because ultimately these are the police officials in India who are going to utilize the services of forensic nurses. So ultimately the prize certificate distribution ceremony. So these were the, you see a big group who had taken the training, police officials, and some of the nursing students were there. So they were always involved along with the faculty, and this was the certificate which we gave to them. And then we went to the different parts of the country. In the West Bengal, that is the east of India. So we went there and we said, yes, this is the need of the hour, and we need to do this. Then in the South India, we went to the Mangalore. So we wish to cover all the different parts of the India. And first college in India to have the evaluated program, that was Gyan Sagar Medical College and its associated Gyan Sagar Nursing College. So the nursing students being taught there about, so all these nursing students, they were taught, and they were continuously taught for a long time, and many classes were for them. And so evaluation program after the course was done. So at that time, it does not have the recognition of the Nursing Council of India, but our efforts that were there. So we had this 3-hour test. They were evaluated, and all those students who cleared this exam, so they were given this certificate. And because courses should be recognized by the university, by the Nursing Council of India, but that was not happening. So our association started doing this and giving some sort of recognition to these forensic nurses. And this is the certificate distribution ceremony to all those students who cleared this exam. And then came the question of the jobs. If there are forensic nurses, where they will get the jobs. So until the jobs are there, students will do for 1 session, 2 session, 3 session, no job, they stop doing that course. So it is very important that the jobs should also be created along with. So the jobs were created at the Gyan Sagar Medical College, and she was the first forensic nurse, Nisha Bharti. She was the first forensic nurse who was there in India. And this was her office. And this was her appointment letter, which was there by the institution. So this was a big thing at that time in 2007 that we could get a job for a forensic nurse in India, and that happened. And keeping in view all these efforts, International Association of Forensic Nurses at Salt Lake City in the USA, that honored, and at that time, I was just talking to Chancellor Saab, that at that time I promised that the forensic nursing in India will definitely develop. It will develop in a good way and better way than the USA. And I had promised that there will be more number of forensic nurses in India as compared to the rest of the world. So at that time, this claim looked very tall. They said it looks very tall, but they appreciated and they motivated me to go ahead. And I was happy, my country flag among the forensic nurses, and my salute to my tricolor. So that was there in the Salt Lake City. And then we started that we should further expand it. Motivated further with another trip to the Colorado Technical University, talking to the forensic nurses there, and along with Virginia Lynch at Gyan Sagar Nursing College. So frequently she was coming, and we were going there to have a tie-up at that time. And Professor Glenda and Virginia Lynch, for their tie-up, they visited Gyan Sagar Nursing College at that time, and we had a tie-up with that university, Gyan Sagar Nursing College. So these were the documents which were being exchanged at that time, that we had agreement with Colorado University. So then we launched Indo-Pacific Academy of Forensic Nursing Science. It was launched in 2009 when we had sufficient number of people interested in the forensic nursing science. So it has its own website. And presently we have 249 members from all over the world in this organization. And under its patronage, courses started in India, and 96 students successfully completed this course at Gyan Sagar Nursing College in 2009, around that time. So then we got this, our academy registered with the government, and so continued in the Gyan Sagar Nursing College about the forensic nursing science. Other teachers being involved, always they were evaluated, and new batches by batches, they cleared their exam, but this was not the university exam, this was not the recognized by the Indian Nursing Council, but by our academy, just awakened them and told them things so that whenever they go to some foreign countries, probably they can further get involved in it and can help in the process of justice. So this was published, all the efforts were published in this Trends in Medical World. So we had our first conference of our academy in 2011, and at the Gyan Sagar Nursing College, Medical College. And so this was the first conference of where people from the different parts of the world, Vice Chancellor from in the law university, National Law University. He was the chief guest at that time, and other dignitaries of our institution and from the other places were there. So this was the gathering at that time, and then we went to the different state, Uttar Pradesh in India at Kanpur, which is a central place in 2012. So went to the nursing college, we went to the medical college there and introduced the forensic nursing at that time. So Virginia happened to be at that time in India. And we again went from place to place, and this is another part, the Siliguri. So that is where this forensic nursing was started in 2012. So then in 2013, at Gandhinagar in Gujarat, Gujarat Forensic Science University, post-basic diploma in forensic nursing started as of 1 year duration. And requirement for admission was bachelor degree in nursing with minimum 55% marks. So we did not stop. It is not that now the course has started by a university and we should stop there. We went ahead and we organized conference at Dahanklera Nursing College. And again, we had the 450 participants in this conference. This was a very successful conference at that time. And again, people from in the different parts of the world, they participated in it. And our director of medical education this time, Dr. Tej, so he was also present. So you can see here the slides, you can hear my voice, so mic should not be an issue. It's not an issue. So Dr. Tejbir Singh, who was our Director of Medical Education, so he also promised that this will come ahead, but there are, in government sector, there are so many promises and so little followed after the promises. And so police officials, the highest police officials at that time, dignitaries from the different countries, our management. So that was also a Guru Nanak mission medical college at that time. They had an idea that they are going to start a medical college, but anyhow, that could not come up, but they had a Guru Nanak Mission Nursing College. So where all this happened. And then we had a workshop in another part of Punjab, and so there was again a good gathering at that workshop. And then we had the conference in 2015 with the theme of globalization in nursing forensics. And so this was at that time, and our chief guest and other person dignitaries there. And so that was first time that it was very well covered in the newspapers. And with that time, we got a good fillip. And then we had another, our fourth conference in 2016 with the theme of current trends and personality development in forensic nursing science. And some of the glimpses of the fourth conference where we had about, this time the gathering was less, it was about 250 at that conference. So then going to the different country, my going and talking to the nurses there in Australia, we went there and talked about the forensic nursing science during my visit to the Sydney at the UTS University of Technology. And then I happened to go to Saudi Arabia. There I talked about the forensic nursing science, that how it should develop in the different parts. And now that Saudi Arabia has initiated with that prompt, the Saudi Arabia has initiated a program of forensic nursing science in Saudi Arabia. And then next conference was at Jaipur. So we tried that we are in the different parts of the country, so that this thing can spread to the different parts of, and students, teachers, they get aware about this thing. With the theme of challenges to nursing and medical college at Mahatma Gandhi University, Jaipur. And so that was their journal, which was being supported by this academy. So that was being released at that time. And then we had, again in Himachal Pradesh, at Solan, we had sixth conference with the theme of expansion of forensic nursing in social services. So we always chose a different theme so that people can become aware about this. So again, we are publishing a journal, regularly a journal in forensic nursing. So it is the International Journal of Ethics, Trauma and Victimology, which is being supported by the in PAFNES. So this was the gathering, good gathering. As in a hill station, usually we have less number of people, but there was a good gathering. Then we went to, in the south, at the Karat, in Maharashtra, and we talked about the forensic sciences in healthcare practice, and many people, many students there got interested in the forensic nursing science at this. And so I saw a potential for forensic nurses during my talk there. But then Corona came, but we did not stop with that, and the online introduction and development of forensic nursing science that was talked about, in which there were 1,600 participants were there in this conference. And we go on talking forensic nursing and humanitarian forensic in the Jain University, and practice of forensic nursing in post-COVID-19 scenario. So all these are now the published papers also, so what we talked about that. And journey of forensic in the Indian subcontinent, that was talked in 21. Again, we talked about forensic nursing, saying, is it needed in India? And again, we had the 7th conference of Indo-Pacific Forensic Nursing Science, in which the delegates from 18 different countries participated. So we had 18 different countries participants in it, and so these countries were represented in that conference. So you can see from the different parts of the world, now the people get attracted towards the works of the Indo-Pacific Academy of Forensic Nursing Science, and people started joining. And in Sri Lanka, because we are going to have our next conference in Sri Lanka, so we try to make the people aware there in Sri Lanka. And then at Lucknow, we had this conference where forensic nursing science was talked about. Again, a national webinar on July 2022. And now in the south, so this was the biggest, where the chancellor of that university, he said that he will start the forensic nursing science in Kerala at that time with this awareness. Now the Nursing Council of India has given permission, and anybody can start the forensic nursing science in post-graduation course here. So today with you, and I am happy I am here with you talking about the forensic nursing science, which is so dear to my heart. And next conference, 8th conference, we are going to have at the Sri Lanka. Dr. Clifford Pereira is organizing this. And I request the faculty members, the students, Sri Lanka is nearby, so you can go and join our international conference who are interested in the forensic nursing science. So this will give you a good feel of there. So this is the December 13, it is a one-day conference in Sri Lanka. I request all of you to join this conference. So then with the efforts of the Indian Academy of Forensic Nursing Science, it was introduced in the undergraduate syllabus in the 5th semester. So it was in the 5th semester that this has been introduced as a separate subject. And so this is just I will pass through because that time is running by. I think my time is going to be over. So this is in undergraduate syllabus. You can see this has been introduced. So describe the nature of the forensic science and discuss issues concerning violence. Explain concepts of forensic nursing and scope of practice for a forensic nurse. Identify members of forensic team and describe role of forensic nurse. And assist forensic team in care beyond scope of this, and evidence preservation role of nurses. And describe fundamental rights and human rights commission. Explain Indian judicial system and the laws. And explain Indian judicial system and laws, and then describe the importance of the POSCO Act, and explain legal aspects applied in mental health setting. So these things are being covered at the undergraduate level. So with so much of covering of the forensic nursing science, I think all the students who pass, they can be a general forensic nurse at least, when they have this knowledge, when they have practical exposure to it. So this is a book, all the efforts which we have done. So this finally came in the shape of a book, Forensic Nursing Science, a global health initiative in developing and developed countries. So this is there on the net. Anybody wishes to look further into the intricacies of the forensic nursing science, or any libraries they want, they can get Kindle Direct Publishers. Yes, it is not that we are stopping after achieving something. This is just a step, and we start moving from that. This is the International Journal of Ethics, Trauma and Victimology, which is publishing the research work of forensic nursing science, along with there is one another society, Society for Prevention of Injuries and Corporal Punishment. So both these societies, they are supporting this journal. So no charges are there for if you send an article in it. It is a peer-reviewed journal. It is an index journal, and all nursing colleges, they can subscribe to it. And I will request the Eternal University also to subscribe to this journal. So these are the different research papers being published. It is not this journal, it is being published from India, in other journals also. These are being published. And now I come to my last point, that any one of you sitting here happen to go to some other country, and in that country forensic nursing science is not there, just go there and develop there. So you have seen the steps, but I will summarize that. So you have to introduce, make the people aware, reinforce, broaden the base, and start some type of courses. then the regulatory bodies approach the regulatory bodies, they will acknowledge it, then jobs should be there. If no jobs are there, this process will come and stop at this place. So once the jobs are there, the further expansion, you have to do less of the hard work. And then again, you can start at a new place and new state, new country, anywhere you go. My good wishes for you. But there are some definitely pitfalls, what I have learned and which you should not repeat. That reinforcement should never be weak. Stakeholders should be kept into confidence and involved in all the stages. It should be a continuous process, not we gain something and we stop at that, not that. Good leadership in nursing professionals should be identified early in the stage. I made a mistake here. I tried to involve many nurses in the initial. They came for a small, short time, but ultimately I to be here. So involve the forensic nursing professionals very early stage. And a good team of all stakeholders. Forensic nursing is not a replacement of an field. If somebody says it will replace, we sit and we will be helping the other fields. Forensic nursing will booster the other fields. It will not replace the other fields. And I would like to conclude that if you have a passion, if you are willing to do the hard work for it, if you have a plan for initiating forensic nursing in any part of the world and in your countries, in your states, make stakeholders aware first, collaborate with forensic medicine experts and police to have the initial help, courses, and jobs will come automatically in that process. Now, that is what we have achieved, but we have not stopped there. I have further dreams on this, that we will start independent journal of Indo-Pacific Academy of Forensic Nursing Science. We starting courses in various parts of India, PG courses, creation of jobs for forensic nursing in teaching institutions, in the general cadre, and integration with the investigating agencies. So that is most important if we want to go ahead, and proper implementation of the UG forensic nursing program. So that will create an interest and the forensic nurses will come further. So any one of you, if you got interested in forensic nursing science, can become member of this organization, and you will get further booster by the different members of the group. They will come to your help. And you can also visit these other sites which can help you. And thank you very much. If you have any queries. You can write to me at Goria, or you can visit cbo.org. Thank you once again. Thank you. If you have any questions, I will be happy to do that. Thank you, ma'am. Yes, please.
I had a quick question. Thank you very much for all of your information. This is so needed and important for our families, for our patients, for educators, for nurses. And I wanted to ask, it's a little different, I think, in the United States. As an advanced practice nurse or nurse practitioner, nurses can really expand their care and do all of the exams and work more independently. But I think here, this happens at the undergraduate level, right? In the clinical, for nurses in the undergrad level, I know they're learning coursework, but are they learning how to do exams? I'm sorry, I just don't know.
Hello. So there is a very good question. by ma'am that there is a education there, but are the nurses, forensic nurses, do they get some practical training? This is a very relevant thing. And I will like to emphasize that we try to do, but the level is not that much as we should have. And this is a pitfall too for us. So we are trying, we are getting, asking the nursing colleges now, they will have to tie up with someone where the medical legal work is being done, because the medical legal work, especially the postmortem examination, is in the government institutions. In the private institutions, it is not there at most of the places, except for 5 or 10 places in India. So we are advocating that, and we are continuously trying that. There is a National Forensic Science University. I happen to be the faculty member of that university too. That is the only forensic science university in the world. So there it has started. And we have made tie-up with the local medical colleges where the postmortem examination is being done. We are having a tie-up where the injury cases, the postmortem examination is being done. We are having a tie-up where for the it is being done. It is being done for so many things. I think next is my lecture and advanced forensic nursing. Probably we will, your answer to your question will come more in the next lecture. Thank you very much. So after this, after the break, we will have another lecture. So we'll talking about the advanced forensic nursing. Okay, thank you very much.
One more question. One more.
Please. For the degree course, so probably this year and next year it is going to start at the Gandhinagar University. It is a tendency. Had prepared the syllabus given to I. They have cleared the syllabus now. Anyone who wishes can start with the MS in science. At the, you see, that is very at the high level. We are in continuous process with the central government that such jobs should be created. But I tell you my experience, we talked to the stakeholders, the police officials. So once they saw all this, what doing, they said, give me 20 forensic nurses. So we were just at the level of awareness. I said that we don't have the forensic nurses at this time. So first, the education, then forensic will produce, then there will be jobs. But in some private colleges, we can always, there are nurses, we can give one nurse, especially the job of the forensic nurse, or we can have a team of forensic nurses, 4 or 5, who can be there around the clock in the emergency department. Madam, your question, please.
Good morning, everyone. It's so audible. Good morning, everyone. See, when we will talk of forensic nursing, what sir has discussed, it is great and comprehensive. But when, as a student of forensic nursing, we have this legal aspects in everything, sir. Every other legal aspects in, when we are dealing with the drugs, when we were dealing with the patients in mental health, and even privacy, confidentiality, taking care of this personal things of the person, this beliefs or secrets of the patient, confidentiality we are maintaining, everything pertains to forensic nursing. But we practice civil. We don't, we conceal some of the facts about the patient. We only discuss when they are needed. And we also protect the rights of the patients. And whatever we do in terms of legal aspects, terms of forensic nursing. So that is, as we are talking of the autonomy in nursing profession, it is also an autonomy. That is, if we have rights, we should have responsibilities, accountability to be a professional. So that is what sir has talked about, the evolution, and it was really an eye-opener. So we have to be all, as student of nursing education, we have to go through every step, so that, because nowadays our people will be more educated, maybe for minor mistakes, maybe even telling their phone number to anybody, they can sue us. They can, so we as students, we have to be very conscious of whatever is happening in the surroundings. We have to learn so much about the rights of the people, and we have to take people as customers now. They are not as patients, they are customers, they are clients. So there are patients' rights, clients' rights, customers' rights. They make them stronger. Their, if we will see this strength in terms of power and rights as a subjects, we have to take care of the patients. We are custodians and we are advocates of patients. So our responsibility as a forensic nurse becomes great, and I appreciate you have shown us the path that there will be posts available for us. That is, it is a new area that we will be able to have more creation in jobs, and we will be blessed with autonomy and strength. That's all. I wish all of you to be empowered.
Thank you, ma'am, for your statement. I think it is more of a statement rather than a question, so
Sir,
I will not comment upon this. Yes, please.
Myself, Dr. Deepthi Sofar from Lucknow. First thing is, I really appreciate you that you gone through so long from 2002 up to 2022. This our Indian Nursing Council recognized your work, and then they have taken this in their syllabus. So it has taken near about 9 to 10 years to come Indian Nursing Council syllabus. As we are the professors and teachers and teaching in nursing colleges, we do need training and education regarding forensic nursing. So first, before starting with the students, we need to take some faculty development program regarding this forensic nursing. And the second thing here, as Rebecca ma'am said, I'm with her, that we are having so many bias and ethical issues with the nursing field till now. Our nurses, maximum time our students and nurses are based on the job base, we are coming with the nursing. Every time you will ask the student that there is a good job opportunities in nursing, and we can go for foreign artists. But about the forensic, as you said, that we are getting certificate from this, you have prepared something in where we can get a certificate. But in India, still we are running behind own jobs, and there is no place they are giving for the forensic nursing. So first we have to fight for this forensic nursing department for the nurses in India. Then what are the opportunities we'll get in India and outside. Outside is okay, where we are seeing so many things, and madam is sitting here and you also speak so much, and we have seen all your hard work behind this. But in India, still we need to work for the forensic nursing. And first of all, we, the teachers, need to know much more about forensic. Then only we can go through our students and pathways. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yes, very relevant points have been raised about the training of the teachers and jobs. So, पहले मुर्गी के पहले अंडा. So, ये तो एक बड़ा लंबा क्वेश्चन रहा है जो कभी सॉल्व नहीं होगा. तो लेकिन है कि लगता है कि what I have faced, it is first the education, then the if jobs are created, nobody is available, then jobs away. As I told you, so official asked me, give me 20 forensic nurses, I will take them ASI. So you see, at any time, there will be pitfalls, there will be shortcomings, and there will be some hindrances, and we have to overcome that. So it is a long process. In India, it becomes longer as compared to the other countries. So I will appreciate if more of the nurses, they get attracted to our academy, they become their members, and then they can be resource persons for, you see, that in their states, And they can teach their fellow forensic nurses that how forensic nursing is to be taught. So that is why I said my one pitfall was nurses could not be involved in the very beginning. Just I tried, but I could not develop the nursing leadership in forensic nursing science. That is my, you see, a fault. There are so many nurses associated, but they don't want to take the leadership role. I am president of that organization, and I am offering them this presidentship that I have done more than time. I have taken very long time in this organization. Now please come and accept the responsibility of the president, and I am with you. I will work from behind the scene. Okay. So there is a form is there on the website. Everything is there. Just probably 1,000 or 2,000 rupees is there for the life membership. It is not a big amount. Even the students can become the member. You can become the members. You can take the form from me, and you can send it to the trader of the academy, and you become the member ultimately. So I will be very happy if you are involved, and if you want to learn further, higher level, come to Sri Lanka. Eh, so come to Sri Lanka. It is a hybrid course. Even if you cannot go physically there due to your family issues or problems, but because most of the ladies are the nurses and in the faculty, they have problems. They can join online also. So please do join. You will learn so much in that with the participation of people from the different countries. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for putting the light on historical overview and the evolution that took place over years. So we'll be starting with our next session. Before we move on towards the next session, I think we'll be announcing for the tea break. So you can have your teas on your respective seats, and the tea should be served to Dr. Rakesh sir as well. Now I request chairperson to please conclude the session.
So what's happening now? This one is now. Then we have one. Then him, and then me. Or maybe I go tomorrow. I don't know. We are supposed to conclude it? I don't know how to do it. Just say where we are. We'll do what everybody says. Wants an overview of what we said. Oh. Yeah, go ahead. I can just do it there. Yeah. Go ahead. Well, hello.
Oh, here, okay. All right. First of all, we want to thank you for a wonderful presentation. We are supposed to give an overview, and we know we're running late. And what I would like to do is just sort of tell you how much we appreciated it, because it let us know what was happening in India. And I'm sure many of the people here felt that. One of the things that I wanted to say is, I think when you had that chart at the end, which are the important steps that you do, I think one of the most important steps here is to let the stakeholders know, and let the stakeholders know what's going on with this, because I bet any amount of money that the people out there don't know that this help is there for them. And I think you're letting us know, and you're letting your nurses know here, and the nurses have a lot of work to do, I know, but in letting the stakeholders know, and all the nursing schools, we know that there is help for these people. The collaboration is really important, and I got a lot of ideas that you are collaborating from the very beginning when you started in 2003, I think. What was it, 2003? You started very early in the 2000s, that the collaboration was important. Both of us were feeling that maybe a woman should have been on there, but maybe there is not a woman available that could even do this at this time. And we are from America, and you know that we feel that women need to have a place in this. And we are nurses, of course, and we do that. But that was my one thought that went through here, and that's a personal thought, not it's not a feeling against it. The other thing that to me is important, and Sandy believes in this too, is that the practice of the nurse is the most important. And what the nurse practices in doing this, how much they get involved in it. We noticed in the one slide, all the nurses were holding something over their nose. And that was I don't think it was a postmortem or what it was, but it seemed to me that they were thinking this maybe is not a great subject. And I think it gave me a little bit of a negative intonation and I know, I'm glad you showed it, but I think I would say that if I show that slide, that when they're standing there looking like this, are they learning, or they just don't like the smell, or don't they like the subject? So this was one thing that personally I saw in there that I thought, well, that's something. The other important thing, and you brought this out, is working with the various agencies. And as little as I know about forensics, I know that since preparing for this conference, I know that the most important thing, one of the most important things besides the practice of nursing, is working with all of the agencies and getting everybody to do what they have to do. So I really think you did a really wonderful job, and you let me know and Sandra know exactly what's happening in your country. Our country is ahead of you, we know that, but you're moving, and that's important, and I thank you so much for your wonderful presentation.
Again, I love your presentation. I love learning how this field is growing. And I'm also thinking more and more about what you said about education. And education, I look at this as, the patient being in the center along with their family, friends, and then the greater community. We're all connected in this way. So I agree with Dr. Jill, increasing education broadly so people know that there is forensic nursing help in treatment and education available. So if you have a friend, you can refer a friend. But I will go on a bit more about this afternoon. I also see, and I'll talk about this afternoon, learning as nurses. All of the students here can begin learning their basic history taking and physical assessment skills so that in regard to a sexual assault, I would like to see the undergraduate nurses become very proficient in their health taking and documentation, as well as their physical assessment skills. You can do a lot at an undergraduate level, but it comes from, first and foremost, the education, as you mentioned, and being involved. In our country, we start this early in undergraduate, but we incorporate it into this type of work into a maternal child health thing. And as a nurse practitioner, you can actually see patients on your own and do the full history, physical, and workup. So that's coming. I can see this coming and growing in a wonderful way for India. But we'll talk more this afternoon, so I think it's break time. Thanks.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I would like to welcome our special guest who has joined us now only, Mrs. Prem Negi, Nursing Superintendent, IGMC Shimla, and Mrs. Kamla Tawar, Principal, IGMC Shimla. We welcome you, ma'am. Okay, let's move to the next topic of the event. Gender-based violence, a need for a watchful third eye. This topic will be discussed by Dr. Sunita Verma, ma'am. Ma'am is working as lecturer in Sister Nivedita Government College, IGMC Shimla, former registrar, Himachal Pradesh Nurses Registration Council, Shimla. Ma'am has vast experience of more than 15 years in various fields of clinical area and worked in CTVS Operation Theatre and other operation theatres. Ma'am has worked in various specialized areas like neurology, dialysis, pediatrics, surgery, oncology, cath lab, ITU, CCU, and many more. Ma'am is having BA, BSc, MA in political science, MSc nursing with medical surgical nursing specialty, MBA in healthcare system, PhD in nursing, and specialized diploma in cardiovascular thoracic nursing. Ma'am has been awarded for unique creativity in nursing profession by B.M. Birla Heart Care Center, Calcutta. Vocational Award for Excellence in Nursing Profession by Rotary Club Shimla, Association of Rotary International. Ma'am has conducted and organized various national and international workshops along with paper presentations. Ma'am has more than 5 research publications. Ma'am has membership with various organizations like TNAI, Trained Nursing Association of India, Asian Association of Cardiac Nurses, and life membership of Breastfeeding Promotion Network of India. We welcome you, ma'am.
Chairperson for this session will be Dr. Jaydeepa. Ma'am is working as principal in IQCT Institute of Nursing Sciences, Durgapur. Ma'am has done BSc, MSc and PhD nursing. Ma'am has PG diploma and MBA in hospital management. Ma'am has also done national program on technology enhanced learning. Ma'am has published a textbook on critical care nursing. Ma'am has worked on more than 15 research projects, more than 25 paper publications, and presented more than 30 papers. Ma'am has attended more than 100 national and international conferences, webinars, seminars, and workshops. Ma'am has more than 10 professional memberships, including Sigma Theta Tau, International Honor Society of Nursing, International Network for Doctoral Education, TNAI, Oncology Nursing Association, and Nursing Research Society of India. We welcome you, ma'am. Our second chairperson for the session will be Professor Mahmooda Regu. Ma'am is working as professor cum principal at Alamdar Memorial College of Nursing and Medical Technology, Islamic University of Science and Technology, Avantipura. Ma'am is BSc Nursing, MA Public Administration, MSc in Community Health Nursing, PhD Nursing. Ma'am has received Florence Nightingale Award in year 2008. Ma'am was Executive Board Member of Nursing Research Society of India. Ma'am was Organizing Secretary in National Conference of Nursing Research Society of India, Organizing Secretary, Chairperson, Resource Person of various programs held at SKIMS. Present Steering Committee of TNAI at Jammu and Kashmir, and also has contributed in re-establishing TNAI at Jammu and Kashmir. She is also a member of many societies, namely Nursing Research Society of India, Indian Society of Hospital Administration, Voluntary Health Association of India, Central Health Education Bureau, Government of India for Swasth Hind. Ma'am has participated and presented research and review papers in more than 100 national and international programs. We welcome you, ma'am. Now I hand over a mic to the resource person, Dr. Sunita Verma, ma'am, to kindly begin with the session.
Good afternoon, everyone. So the topic which is given to me, it is under forensic nursing, and it is gender-based violence, a need for watchful third eye. So let us talk about gender-based violence, building awareness and solidarity. So the what all we have to cover under this topic is objectives, introduction, incidents, violence in the life cycle of women, types of violence against women, risk factors that may cause gender-based violence, causes of gender-based violence, and effects of gender-based violence, and gender-based violence at workplace, challenges for the prevention of gender-based violence, what can be done to prevent gender-based violence, law for women's safety, and there are 10 NGOs that empower women to fight against gender-based violence, and there are certain research studies and helpline numbers for women's safety. So the objectives are, at the end of this lecture, participants should be able to define violence, violence against women, and gender-based violence. Next is identify different types of violence, especially domestic violence and violence in intimate relationships. Identify the factors that cause or perpetuate violence. Know the magnitude of sexual and gender-based violence. So first of all, I would like to introduce about the gender-based violence. This gender-based violence is an umbrella term for any harmful act that is perpetuated against a person's will and that is based on socially ascribed differences between male and female. The term gender-based violence is often used interchangeably within the term violence against women and sexual and gender-based violence. Over the years, several attempts have been made to tackle the problems of violence against women and girls, but the challenges remain daunting and discouraging. But in recent years, there is an increased reportage of incidents of violence against women and girls across the world. So crime has no gender. Don't ignore domestic violence against men. So here you can see the domestic violence. This term nowhere indicates that only women can be the victim of domestic violence. Men can also be the victim and not the only perpetrator. So earlier it was a myth. Domestic violence is only affect the women, but it is not like that. So emotional abuse is the most prevalent form of marital and domestic violence against males. It is 51.6%, whereas physical abuse coming in second, it is 6%. Domestic violence should be considered as the spousal violence, as it is not only restricted to women. So if you see the rates of violence, men and women, so around 95% of all victims of violence, whether women or men, experienced violence from a male perpetrator. And if you see the World Health Organization, so gender-based violence includes sexual violence, include rape, sexual abuse, sexual exploitation, and forced prostitution. Domestic violence, forced and early marriage, harmful traditional practice such as female genital mutilation, honor crimes, widow inheritance, and trafficking. And about the global statistics, global estimates published by World Health Organization indicates that about 1 in 3, that is 35% of women worldwide have experienced either physical or sexual intimate partner violence or non-partner sexual violence in their lifetime. Most of this violence is intimate partner violence. And if we see the incidence, so incidence index for domestic violence against women in India, a total of 133,154 cases have been reported under domestic violence against women as per the research studies conducted by Dr. G. Balasarkar in the year 2021 in India. Delhi reported the highest of domestic violence against women, having index number 190.7, followed by Uttar Pradesh, having index number that is 332.99, followed by Jharkhand, showing index number 506.55. Among the union territories, Lakshadweep 692.29 reported the least cases of domestic violence against women and is ranked first by Daman and Diu. It is 686.40. The most prevalent form of domestic violence in India, as per NCRB report 2016, is cruelty by husband, relatives, and 110,378 cases have been reported under the crime in 2016 in India, which accounts for 82.9% of total domestic violence against women in India. It was about the domestic violence. But if we see index for overall violence against women in India, so a total of 338,059 cases have been reported under violence against women in India in 2016. Delhi reported the highest cases of violence against women in 2016, showing latest index number 500.20 and followed Uttar Pradesh 994.780, which is followed by Telangana 1050.50, followed by Orissa 1076.38. So incidents during the COVID-19. In total, 59 articles were reviewed, so that published news related to domestic violence during COVID-19 in India. So overall, there has been a 47.2% increase in domestic violence during the COVID-19. Now we'll see about the violence in the life cycle of women. So when women, they are pre-birth till the elderly. So women are in the pre-birth, there is a sex-selective abortion, and infancy stage, female infanticide takes place, whereas in girlhood, there is a child marriage and female genital mutilation, physical, sexual, psychological abuse, and etc. And in the adolescent age, if we see dating and countership violence, acid attack, honor killing, and during the adulthood, sexual harassment is there, and during elderly age, there is a sexual, physical, and psychological abuse, forced suicide, and homicide of widow for economic reasons. This is the pictorial diagram, which I have already discussed. And then we have to see about the types of violence, how many types of violences takes place worldwide. So there is a physical violence, sexual violence, psychosocial violence, verbal violence, bullying, and in the domestic violence, sexual abuse is there, economical abuse, psychological abuse, physical abuse, emotional is there. So this is the biggest example of physical violence. You might be knowing about this. She is Lakshmi Agrawal, who is a acid attack survivor in 2005. So physical violence is defined as the intentional use of physical force with the potential to cause death, disability, injury, or harm. Physical violence include scratching, pushing, shoving, throwing, grabbing, biting, choking, and etc. And acid attack, I talked about the Lakshmi Agrawal. She born in 1st June 1990, is an Indian acid attack survivor, a campaigner for rights of acid attack victim, and a TV host now. She was attacked in 2005 in New Delhi at the age of 15. In 2019, she was honored with the International Women Empowerment Award from the Ministry of Women and Child Development, the Ministry of Drinking Water and Sanitation, and UNICEF for her campaign of Stop Acid Sale. And afterward, there is a stop on a acid sale. And in the year 2014, she received the International Women of Courage Award at the hands of First Lady Michelle Obama. Now we'll see about the sexual violence. Sexual violence is divided into 3 categories. And it is use of physical force, because physically they are forcing, and then attempted or completed sex act, and another is abusive sexual contact. And this is a workplace violence. And I think this is also very well-known news, the famous Aruna Shenbag case. So this is the brief story I would like to tell about. This is a workplace violence, a form of sexual and physical violence. She is a Aruna Ramachandra Shenbag, 1st June 1948, 18th May 2015, was an Indian nurse who was at the center of attention in a court case on euthanasia after spending nearly 42 years in a vegetative state as an assault or sexual assault. So on 24 January 2011, after Shenbag had been in this state for 37 years, the Supreme Court of India responded to a plea for euthanasia failed by journalist Pinky Virani, setting up a medical panel to examine her. The court rejected the petition on 7th March 2011. However, in its landmark opinion, it allowed passive euthanasia in India. And in 1973, while working as a junior nurse at King Edward Memorial Hospital, Parel, Mumbai, Shenbag was sexually assaulted by a ward boy. Shenbag attacked her while she was changing clothes in the hospital basement. He choked her with a dog chain and raped her. This cut off oxygen to her brain, resulting in a brainstem contusion, cervical cord injury, and cortical blindness. She was discovered at 7:45 a.m. the following morning by a cleaner. Later, she died because of pneumonia in 2015. Now we'll see about the psychological violence. Trauma to the victim caused by threats of coercive tactics when there has been prior physical or sexual violence or prior threat of physical or sexual violence. So we can see it is according to the ecological model adapted to risk for journal-based violence. So this is in the society, community, relationship, and an individual. Then what are the causes which is responsible for violence? socio-psychological theories. This theory has been criticized for blaming the victim. It is this kind of reasoning that promotes the term battered wives rather than violent husbands. Sociological theory says social factors such as poverty, unemployment, stress, and social isolation contributes to aggressive behavior, which leads to violence. Then psychodynamic theory says observational learning, when some individuals are brought up in violent environment, they tend to conclude the violence. Violence is a way of life. And then frustration, aggression. That theory says when some people are frustrated, it causes discomfort and they respond with violence. And family organization theory, some scholars observe that men who beat their wives are poor, uneducated, either unemployed or stuck in a low-paid, low-status job, and the son of a violent father. That also may lead to the domestic violence. And there are certain root causes which is described by the UNICEF, root causes and contributing factors. So root causes, there are 2-3 root causes are there. Abuse of power, and then there is a disrespect for the human rights and gender inequality. And the contributing factors are physical, psychosocial, and socio-economic. These factors are responsible for the gender-based violence. Then family organization theories. Some scholars observe that psychodynamic theory, it is an observational learning. When some individuals are brought up in a violent environment, they tend to conclude the violence in a way of life. And frustration, aggression theory, when some people are frustrated, it causes discomfort and they respond with the violence. I'm sorry. Yeah. Now we have to see the effects of gender-based violence. What may be the effects of gender-based violence? Strife led to anxiety, led to depression, and make you feel helpless and alone, has devastating effects on the children, and you can be injured, HIV, infection, loss of pregnancy, and in extreme cases, it may lead to death. And gender-based violence at workplace, physical abuse including assault, battery, attempted murder and murder, sexual harassment, verbal and exist abuse, economic and financial abuse, stalking, sexual violence including rape and sexual assault. So there are certain challenges how to prevent gender-based violence. So there are certain challenges. First of all, lack of supporting space. And second challenge is taboos and discomfort with addressing sensitive subject. Conflict-related travel restrictions and limited resources. Unsafe public space, delay in seeking treatment. And challenge number 7 is unsupportive caregivers or partners. Next is gossip and negative peer talk. And deciding on the right low level of financial investment in girls. I hope it is well understood, self-explanatory. So much detail I will not talk about because there is a time. And now we have to see about the journal-based violence, how can be done to prevent, how we should prevent that journal. So first of all, examine yourself and adjust where necessary, speak out. So first of all, create awareness. We must be aware what is happening around. And research advocacy, campaign, and abolition of HTPS, legal reforms, reform of law enforcement, organized network of men leaders. So by these all things, we can examine ourselves. We need to be very much aware about the things so that we can prevent the happenings. Establish reporting mechanism. Monitor and document potential and actual incidents of gender-based violence. Establish reporting mechanism. Report potential cases of gender-based violence to the local administration, police, or community structures. Advise potential targets of gender-based violence to talk precautions. Next is educate community members on gender-based violence and how to prevent it. So this is establish community vigilance system, participate in community-based policies, system and structures. Socialize own children to practice gender equity and eschew violence. Mobilize other men to fight gender-based violence. Petition for enactment of laws against gender-based violence. And there are certain addressing gender-based violence in emergency. So what we need to do in emergency? First of all, risk mitigation. If such happenings happen, so first of all, there is a risk mitigation. Interventions to reduce the risk of gender-based violence exposure. Then there is a response. Interventions to address the consequences of gender-based violence after it has occurred. Then prevention. How to prevent it? Interventions to stop gender-based violence from occurring in the first place. So first we need to stop the violence, stop sexual harassment in the workplace, stand up against violence. And there are 5 rules to protect yourself. What are those in case such situation is there? Avoid bad situations. First of all, we will not go into that situation. Be aware of your surroundings. Be confident. Be in control. Leave the situation. But in case if we don't have any option, then we prepare how to fight and how to overcome. There are certain tips for youth to prevent gender-based violence and inequality. Recognize the role of gender in violence. While boys and men do experience abuse, it is important to remember that the majority of victims of violence are female and the majority of perpetrators of violence are boys and men. And educate yourself on the root causes of violence. So how we have to prevent? Read books and articles, attend any training available to you, and learn about the myths and realities of, and then interrupt sexist and discriminatory language. So in case if anyone is talking about this discriminating language, so we should ask them, we should stop them. And reports, photo, messages and exploit women and girls, because nowadays social media is there. So in case if such things happens, so immediately we are supposed to report to the concerned authority. Stop rape culture. One way to stop rape culture is by not allowing people to minimize or normalize sexual assault and rape through jokes. Interrupt abuse. If you see a guy step a girl into her locker, say something to stop his abusive behavior. Stop victim blaming. Don't blame girls and women for how they choose to dress or judge their behavior. They only allow the violence to continue because perpetrator become invisible, held accountable, and those who witness the in silent. Resources for girls and So familiarize yourself with the resources for girls and women in your community, including women centers, shelters, and anti-violence organizations. So now we have to see about the major requirements for prevention of violence against women. This is political commitment. Because until that political commitment will not be there, we cannot proceed on. Implementing laws that promotes gender equality and investing of women's organizations addressing the multiple forms of discrimination women face daily. And there are certain laws which we must know, and according to that law, we can get the justice. So law in India, first is there is a Constitution of India, Part 3, Article 12 to 35, fundamental rights. So this is a fundamental right of women. There is a peace and harmony, right to equality, freedom, freedom for religion, right against exploitation, and right to constitution remedies. And Constitution of India, Part 4, Article 36 to 51. In this, there is a social justice, economic welfare, legal and administrative matters, and foreign policies are there. And Constitution of India, Part 4A, Article 514. So in this, it is just as the directive principles, the section does not have legal action for non-compliance, but it similarly outlines fundamental duties that should be followed by citizens, including abiding by the Constitution, upholding the values and integrity of the country, promoting harmony and peace among all groups of people in India, irrespective of gender, religion, reject violence, and develop a spirit of humanism. And Article Penal Code 1860 has provision to address and punish assault and criminal force, sexual harassment, etc. And provision in Code of Criminal Procedures. So 1973, some of the prominent provisions made in the criminal procedures, that is codes CRC regarding crimes against women were on first information FIR to be completed by women officers, and recording of statement before magistrate on line of duty and responsibilities of medical practitioners and the medical examination procedures, and provision relating to investigations and trick. The crimes administered through these procedures include acid attack, rape, and other sexual offenses. Because when we know these all laws, so according to that we can take the actions and we can protect ourselves. Then Criminal Law Amendment Act 2013. The amendment in this act includes provision that highlights violence against women and expand the Indian Penal Code to include offenses such as acid attack, disobeying a woman, sexual harassment, and stalking. Protection of Women from Domestic Violence Act. It came in the existence in 2005. An act of the Parliament of India enacted to protect women from domestic violence, defined as including physical, emotional, verbal, sexual, and economical abuse within the family and the home. And the service provider has the power to file a domestic incidents report at the victim's request, examine the medical situation, and provide medical help through medical facilities and shelter through shelter homes with the assistance of the protection officers. And there are certain 10 NGOs helping women to fight against gender-based violence in India. So first is Guriya India. So in this, what they do, Guriya lawyers help prepare the victims for the court. So they are helping the people, those who have been assaulted. Then Action India, Action Aid India. This is Goravi, is the 24/7 on-spot crisis center of Action Aid. They provide counseling and also run a shelter home for women. And this is third, Majlis Manch. Under this Majlis Manch, through their program Rahat, Majlis Manch Legal Center provides socio-legal support to the victim of social abuse. And then Sayodhya Home for Women in Need. Sayodhya runs short stay home for women and young girls in distress and provides an emergency response through its 24 hours telephone helpline. Next is Shikshan NA Samaj Kalyan Kendra. It is dedicated to helping women through activities like health, education, women empowerment, etc. And then International Foundation for Crime Prevention and Victim Care. It was set up in response to the need for a support agency for victims and survivors of domestic violence. The NGOs for women provides several necessary services like crisis management, legal advocacy, support, and resource services. Then Committee for Legal Aid to Poor. Acid attack are of the most gruesome and heinous of crime committed against women. The Committee for Legal Aid to Poor was created to provide legal aid to the victims of this terrible crime. Next is Prerna. Prerna works toward the rescue, protection, and rehabilitation of human trafficking victims. They work with various state government to frame anti-human trafficking schemes and policies to rescue and rehabilitate the victims. Next is Sankhya Women's Guidance Cell. In this, the main aim of Sankhya Women Guidance Cell is to promote gender equality and gender justice through women empowerment. They hope to give women more autonomy through sensitization and spreading awareness. Next is the Prajanya Trust. So under this trust, it came in 2008 to prevent gender and sex-based violence against women. This NGO for women conducts workshops, facilitates discussions, provides legal advice, and sensitizes service providers who might encounter cases of sexual violence at work. So these are the 10 NGOs, those who are working for the women, those who are being assaulted or harassed, or whether they indulge with themselves in a domestic violence. So then there are certain research studies. So on the research studies, one is tackling violence against women. There is one comparative study of impact of new law crime rate and reporting rate change in awareness level, which is being done by the Bharatiya Stree Shakti, and it is done in the year 2017, supervised by Ministry of Women and Child Development, Government of India, New Delhi. And Bharatiya Stree Shakti, established in 1988 in a voluntary autonomous political organization working for empowerment of women by promoting gender equality, economic independence, and education for women. Then Bharatiya Stree Shakti is committed to shape the future of women, family and nation with a focus on the education, health, economics, independence, gender equality, and self-esteem. And one of the main objectives of National Policy for Women 2016, which is elimination of all forms of violence against women through strengthening of policies, legislations, programs, institutions, and community engagements. And the infamous Nirbhaya case, which was generated widespread outrage and was widely condemned in India and abroad. The 2012 in Delhi gang rape involved a rape and fatal physical assault which occurred on 16th December 2012 in Munnarika in South Delhi. Victim died from injury and infections. The victim was named and quoted as Nirbhaya, which means fearless. And in 2013, the Criminal Law Amendment Ordinance 2013 was promulgated by Honorable President Pranab Mukherjee, several new laws were passed and 6 new fast-track courts were created to hear rape case, after that Nirbhaya case. And in the final analysis, we came to perspective that gender violence is a violation of human rights that need to be combated more strongly by both men and women who believe in justice for all citizens irrespective of their class, caste, racial, religion and ethnic backgrounds. So now we have to see about the role of human rights and humanitarian actors. So this is assessment and analysis, coordination, advocacy, information and communication activities, referral and response mechanism, health, community mobilization, maternal assistance, justice, legal reforms and education. There are certain helpline numbers. So 2-3 states helpline numbers I have taken. This is about Himachal Pradesh and this is Punjab. So this is helpline numbers. In case if anyone is getting some problems, so they may call to the helpline numbers. So this is all about the topics.
Hello. Good afternoon to one and all. Madam had presented very nicely the gender-based violence, the need, actually what the society is facing. When we read through, the crime rates are increasing. Gender-based violence is one among all this, is constituting lots of number. Actually, she had presented the statistics in a very well way. The reported cases itself is more, but there are so many non-reported cases. It's an iceberg. Everyone should have attention on it. The topic says gender-based violence, a watchful third eye. It says some third eye is required. First is the victim, second is the guilty, third is someone third person who needs to support these people. I feel the third eye may be family support, social support, legal support, government support, NGO support. Like this it goes. It's a multi-sectoral approach, multidisciplinary approach which is required to handle this situation. And it says lots more percentages of emotional violence than the physical violence. And the life cycle, the violence in life cycle of women is very clearly explained. So that means from birth to death, women had to undergo like this, one way or the other way, directly or indirectly, from birth till death. I think it is a curse to a woman. We always talk about gender equality. So both have responsibility, men and women. It's not at adult age. This teaching should come from the childhood. As parents, as teachers, as members in the society, we must educate the children, both men and girls and boys, on how to respect the opposite gender. That is the first and foremost initiative we should take. If anyone is aware of it, so to some extent we can reduce this problem to the society. It's really painful to see, there are so many cases we have seen, how much physical, mental, other struggles a person will undergo. 99% of working women are facing this in their daily life. Every institution, there are so many legal regulations. It is mandatory that to have a gender bias, unbiased committee in every organization. That committee should meet. There must be some provision for people to expose what the pain they undergo. Many will not like to show their identity, especially this is something image related issues. Many people, even if they undergo also, they'll try to hide it. So there must be some system, confidential system by which people come out. And being nurses, we too have the responsibility of, when we work in a hospital, we will see many cases, whoever is coming to us, they will say false reasons of injury. They may say that fell down like that. But we should be conscious and we must be able to identify it. If it happens in front of our eyes, we must bring it to the notice of people who are concerned to it. So this is what we have to do. And one final point I would like to say is, as of my opinion, ideal mind is a devil's workshop. All must be engaged. All individuals' energy must be channelized towards a fruitful and productive way. That is why education plays a role. Education is nothing but molding an individual. Inculcating values in every education is so important. Thank you very much. You have presented very nicely. Thank you so much.
So, the speaker, she has dealt comprehensively with the topic, and chairperson also has looped out all the points. Now, to see what is our role as a nurse. What is our role as a nurse? Whatever we have learned, we have heard from the speaker, or whatever laws are there, we have to know these laws. We should learn as a student, we should learn these laws comprehensively, nicely, and say when survivors are there, when people are there, how can we help them? We have to just say, we are going to the communities, we are in the hospital, we should channelize this knowledge. We should make people aware of what is happening, what can happen. That then only we can prevent. We have to learn from every case. Now it's not India, it's not any other country, it is globally that gender violence is there. And we are ashamed of reading the facts about infant assault. Infant to 90 years old. Everybody is assaulted. We don't know what has happened to the world, why morals are not there. When I was listening of this address by the chancellor of the university, he focused on the value-based of everything, value-based learning, value-based education. That is what we have to give weightage to. We have to teach our youth from the birth only, whether it is male or female. Both we have to teach. Here, how can we protect each other? What are our responsibility towards each other? We don't have to be violent against each other. And mostly we will see violence in terms of dowry deaths. Not only this, what is happening, dowry deaths are there. We are seeing people, first they are getting married early, then because of that early marriage, they cannot defend, they even don't have the communication system developed, so they cannot defend themselves in in-laws. Whosoever, whether is, we call it is always male behind these things. It is most of the times, if we'll go to the this dowry things, it is female against the female. So again, other things, but now because of the internet and all that, it is gang and it is male against the female most of the times. You have talked about gender as both, or this males can be harassed by boss or the intimate partner. But woman, she is on the path. Anybody from childhood, from infancy to death, they can do any behavior with her. So that is value-based education. We have to teach to both, especially to male child, so that they will be stronger in their adulthood, and they will be not violating those laws. They will be protecting the woman everywhere. Then about this, we have to see how we can, if there is any survivor, what is our role as a nurse to protect, we don't have to make her to feel she is very low, she is not worth of doing anything. So we have to help her in the adjustment. We have to conceal her identity. We have to try to help her in every way. Then about, I was thinking of the euthanasia. All of you must be knowing it is mercy killing, है ना? बच्चों, especially to UG students, it is mercy killing. Mercy killing is when we are not, somebody is in the vegetative state of any illness, then we are asking, otherwise we cannot kill anybody without this power of God. So it is when somebody is there is no rule about mercy killing, so then they are using the supports, withdrawing the weaning, the support system, etc. That way they may kill the person, otherwise there is no, it is a crime. Mercy killing, euthanasia is not, it is a debatable big thing. So that with all these things, you can think of so many things about the gender bias and the third eye. We as nurses can be a third eye. Okay, thank you.
Hello. Thank you so much, Sunita ma'am, and the chairperson and a co-person, chair co. There is just one or two observations which I want to share with the audience. What happened, like she quoted, what happened in Delhi 2012, the case which was so widely publicized, Nirbhaya. So we came across one social activist, Leslie Odwin. She was an American based in UK. After this episode, like all of us witnessed this episode, we read in the newspaper, and maybe we grieved for a day or maybe some more days or some moments. But then this lady, she took up this challenge of like why this happened. Why 6 men could rape a woman in moving bus who was accompanied by her friend. And she took it's a call upon herself, sitting in UK, she took that call and she traveled all the way from UK to India. She stayed in India for about a year, and before leaving her 3 children in UK, she's basically a Jewish lady. So she asked her, the youngest child, who was 13-year-old, I am hugely disturbed by all that what happened, and that's my inner call that I have to go to India if I can do something for whatever happened. So for this 1 year or so, she was in India and she tried to interview all these 6 men. So the youngest of them, who was not even 17, the youngest, the 5 others, they had different things to tell, and some of them, Sunita already said, that they were trying to justify why should a single girl, like a girl, be outside after 8 p.m. or something. And they were all of them were trying to justify the crime. And the youngest one was the brutest. He was the one who used all the penetrating, like the things on that body of that physiotherapist. And then it came to her, like it took her about more than a year, and then she made a documentary, India's Daughter. And it is still there on the YouTube, and you can all watch, but due to the government policies or whatever, because it was quite in a limelight. So the day she was supposed to release that movie, so it was not allowed. So NDTV, the only media house in the country, she went to that media house in Delhi and she was sitting with them, and media NDTV just put the candle on, but the movie was not shown. And that's the time she flew out from the country, because then she was not allowed to stay in the country. Until now, she's not allowed to visit India. We happened to meet her in UK, and fortunately for us, the educators, Then we had like lot of round of talks, and it emerged like why this youngest one was so cruel. Why could you grieve in somebody's pain? It's simple. It's very, very simple thing. When somebody is pain, how can you still be inflicting more pain? So then it came out like partly what Dr. Mahmooda said and Honorable Chancellor said in the morning, and Babaji and the founding saints, that probably that part of the education, the value-based education, was not given to all of them while they were learning. And then it was discovered that it's the early years, from 3 years to 6 years, this education is important. When the child is it's like in those early years, it's a preschool years. So she came up with a program which is like she established, by the name of the program is Think Equal, where she incorporated social emotional learning. So by integrating social emotional learning and incorporating in the curriculum of the children who are taking education, so that they become sensitive to the pain of others. So we worked with this organization. So there were we have chain of 130 schools, as you were, in the morning this information was shared. So we took this project in 80 schools. So over 40 schools were given, these 3 to 6 years children. They were taught based on the principles of social emotional learning, where this was taught to them through the stories. And the other 40 schools, they were not given. They were just a part of our value-based education system. So where we were trying to sensitize these children that how to feel the pain of the others. So it was a very rewarding program, which was we were partnered with the Yale Center of Emotional Learning. They are our university collaboration in this research. And this is going to be maybe in a short while. It'll be soon out. And it was very satisfying to see that how those small children were responding by those little stories, by the little acts. Like whenever somebody is in pain, his classmate, and how would he respond? He will go and hug a person who doesn't have a tiffin. He shares those things. Because these things, if are built in the psyche of the child in the early years, will stay with him. This 17-year-old child was not drop out of the school system. So he could never undergo complete education. And our education doesn't even give that blend or that integration of the modern scientific education with the values or with this kind of moral or ethical education. So the role which each one of us has to take is that, like forensic curriculum has been introduced, I think this part may be a part of the forensic nursing, which I think I will leave it to Dr. Goria to see, and maybe Dr. Chill and others. How can we incorporate this social emotional learning as part of the forensic nursing or in the part of the psychology in the nursing curriculum, so that the nursing professionals, they become aware of it, and we as educators, we are trying to do as part of our NGO that we are integrating these values in our, not teaching only ABC or laws of Newton to the students, but blending this modern scientific education with the values. So that call, I think by the end of the, maybe this conference, we should try to deliberate upon that. And the second thing, which is very, very close to my heart, is that whenever we say that so-and-so was raped, I think it is more, it looks like that the girl is she is a picture, we have to give her some kind of a sympathy, and she's the one who was maybe at the back of our mind, we feel that it is the female who was a victim. But instead of saying that she was raped, why should we not be saying that the men dishonored themselves? It was the men who dishonored, not the girl who was raped, because it is always reported like that. And when we say like that, then the onus of this goes on to the men and the boys rather than the girl who is just the recipient of that. Because it is not her say there, it is a say of that men. And whatever we say, and if we start creating that social awareness that it is not the female but the men who their moral fiber is disintegrated somewhere, wherever in their formative years, in their college, in their university education, or as part of our parenting, we were not able to put that in place. I think that's another thing we will like to maybe deliberate upon, and how do we create that social change in the society, calling this as an act by the men, and it should, the onus of this reporting should also go to them. Thank you very much. Yeah. And another thing, this Leslie Odwin, who formulated this Think Equal, if you Google, you can see that she was also a victim of rape when she was 16. She was there, so she could probably understand and empathize that. But then she had that much of wisdom and courage to put all this in order. And now she's implementing this social emotional learning in almost like many countries in the world. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks both the chairperson for sharing the knowledge, and thank you very much, ma'am. And I wanted to tell only one thing, as madam has told already. We need to be very much assertive and well knowledgeable about the laws, which is very important. That is why then only we can empower ourselves. If being a nurse also, as madam has quoted, I didn't touch this part. So being a nurse, it is our responsibility while attending the patient. So if we are aware of these all laws and all, so at least we can make aware all the patients to whom we are attending. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Sunita Verma, ma'am, for this wonderful session. Thank you, chairpersons. Before moving any further, I would welcome Dr. Jyoti Tiwari, Principal, ma'am. She's recently joined us for the 10th International Conference. We welcome you, ma'am. Now, I would hand over the mic to Ms. Suman, ma'am.
So I'm here to make an announcement for scientific paper presentation. After the lunch break, our participants of scientific presentation, Yogita Singh from ACN, Badu Saheb, Priyanka from ACN, Badu Saheb, Neha, ACN, Badu Saheb, Muskan Thakur, ACN, Badu Saheb, Ms. Shivani Dhiman, MSc Nursing Second Year, ACN, Badu Saheb, Snepreet Kaur, BSc Nursing Third Year, ACN, Badu Saheb, Rupinder Kaur, PhD Scholar, Associate Professor, Baba K Institute of Nursing, Moga. And last but not the least is Ms. Sonali Katoch, Second Year MSc Nursing, ACN, Badu Sahib. Please get ready with your paper presentation after the lunch break. So here, we are going to have our lunch break. I would like to request all our guests to move toward the venue. Lunch is waiting for all of you there. We'll resume back at 2:30. I would request our reception committee to kindly guide our guest, resource person, chairperson, principals to the venue, that is guest room, and the other delegates venue is nursing hostel mess. We'll resume back at 2:30 sharp.